Okay, so now we're going to cover how to set up your database, and initially you need to type in your domain name, and then you go /cpanel. So we're about to access the cPanel. Now you will get these details from your web host provider. When you access your account, it will usually tell you or give you access to your cPanel, but it'll also give you your username and password. So in this case here, we've set up, just for the purposes of training, that it's OpenCart, and we put the password in that we've set up, and we're able to access our cPanel. Now, even though you've previously uploaded your OpenCart software into your web host provider, you must set up a database, otherwise you'll have no way of linking your software to your server. Okay, so now most cPanels look, if you go through SiteGround, yours will look exactly like this. If you go through some other web host provider, your cPanel should look similar to this. And what you need to do is go down to MySQL databases, and we click on that. And now, as you can see here, I've set it up for training purposes as OpenCart, and we want to create a database. And basically in here you can type any word or any combination of letters. I like to keep it simple, so you might want to go, in this case I'll go OpenCart, and then I'll go OP, and then I'll click on Create Database. Okay, you can see now that it's telling me that I've added the database, which is called OpenCart_OP. So I go back. Now what I have to do is create a username. You can put any username you like in there, it's up to you. Just to show you an example, I'll just put OpenCart again, although normally I would put something else. Now, I use this to show you that you can only select 7 letters for your username. In this case, of course, OpenCart wouldn't fit, so it becomes OpenCart. I can leave it as that, that's no problem. Then I need to create a password. Try and do something that will give you a good, strong password that you can hopefully remember. But in this case, I'll go OpenCart 123. That's obviously not that strong. OpenCart and 123 again. The ticks are showing that that obviously matches. Then we click Create User, and then as you can see, we've now created a user with a password called OpenCart123 and OpenCart as the username. Now when we go back, we now need to add that user to the database, and down here you see the button Add. If I click on that, that will add my username to the database. Now it's asking me here what privileges I want to give that user, and I've allowed everything to be ticked, which is what you should normally do. If you're going to be the user, you obviously want all privileges, so you click Make Changes, and now it's telling us that the user OpenCart_OpenCart was added to the database, which is OpenCart_OP. Now if you remember, that was the database that we created right there. This is the user that we created, and so now we go back. All of that is done and ready to go. So you've now created your database, which is here where it says database size, users, actions, OpenCart_OpenCart, and that is the database now that is prepared for us to install our OpenCart software. Okay, so now let's go back and type in our new domain name. Okay, now this clearly shows me that I have uploaded the OpenCart software correctly into the web host provider, and as you can see, it'll come up with this screen, step 1 in the license procedure. So the first step on this now is to click I agree to the license and then click continue. Okay, the next thing it will do is show a pre-installation page which shows the status of everything. In this case, we have got ticks, which is good, all the way down, writable, 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 everything is the way it should be. So that's basically what you want to see. Okay, now we have step 3, which is the configuration. The database host is localhost, that's correct. And now what you should have done is keep your cPanel open so that even if you can't remember what you did as far as setting up your username and your database, you'd have access to that information for you to now fill in this form. So as you remember, we created a user, and the user, we'll just move that across, is right there, OpenCart underscore OpenCart. Okay, so in this case we go OpenCart underscore OpenCart. The password that we chose, if you remember, was OpenCart123, and like I say, you would want to choose a much tougher password when you're setting that database up than this one. You may want to write it down so that you can now type it in here with little or no trouble. Okay, and then the database name was what we set up originally, which was OpenCart and underscore and then OP. Say you could have anything other than OP. You could put your name, you could put your business name. It's really up to you. I just like to keep it simple. Prefix, you can leave that empty if you want. It's not necessary. Or if you feel you have to put something in there, you could go OC for OpenCart. But basically you could leave that empty. Now down here, this is to set up your administration access for your admin panel when you've installed the OpenCart software. Many people use admin as their username. You could change that if you wanted to. You could go John. That could be your username. For the purposes of training, I'll keep it as admin. And then the password, it's a good idea not to use the same password as you've used for your database. You want to use something different, but in this instance I'll do the same password just to make it easy. And then of course you would put your email in here. That would obviously be in relation to your cPanel setup. So if in this case our domain name is opencart.mobi.mobi, we might want to put sales at opencart.mobi, and we haven't yet created that email. This initially is to get your OpenCart set up. Okay, so now we'll click continue, and if we've done all the right things, this should go through. Now the first warning you get up here is don't forget to delete your installation directory. This is really important. So what we need to do now is go back to our FTP program. Here it is here, and you see the install folder there. Just right click on the install folder, Just take a second or two and click delete. Be careful not to delete anything else, any other folder or PHP in here. Right click on the install folder and click delete. It'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete this folder? It is the install folder, we've checked, so yes. And that will now proceed to delete the install folder. And basically, at this point, you have installed your OpenCart and it's ready to go.